When you see them bills and fringes, know we come to handle business. When you see them bills and fringes, know we come to handle business.
Shalom, Israel. So I'm back. Sorry I've been gone for so long. Had a lot of things to do. Been real busy, especially with the feast days going on and with work and doing a couple other things that I've been doing. But I'm here today to make you guys a video. Today's topic is going to be on cleaning, lubricating, and inspecting a pistol. Today we're going to be working with a Glock. Okay, it's a Glock 21. And you see it's clear. As you can see, it's clear. Okay. So, what do we do when we clean and inspect a pistol? Well, first, we always want to make sure, like I just did, that the gun is unloaded. Okay. And you don't want to have any ammo near the pistol where you can, accidentally load it. I do have some ammo in the same room close by because I'm going to danger it up after I cleaned it and lubricated. Okay. So the first thing we want to do, like I said, is unload the firearm. Second thing you want to do is take down or field strip the firearm. So with the Glock is going to have 2 takedown notches, one on each side of the pistol. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to lock the slide to the rear, physically check it, okay, it's clear. I'm going to point the gun in a safe way, pull the trigger, pull the slide about, cheat it back like 1/8 of an inch, pull down on both of these tabs, and then you remove the slide from the frame. Okay. Once you have the slide and the frame disassembled, then you want to take out the recoil spring, which is captive, which means that it's captive on the recoil spring and guide. So the spring and the guide. Okay, and then you want to take out your barrel. And from there you are, you're fully field stripped. Okay, so now that I'm field stripped, what do I want to do? I want to inspect it. And I want to inspect again. The things you're looking for are damaged parts. You want to check the wear on the parts, make sure they're not about to be at the end of their service life. Check for cracks in the frame, check for cracks in the slide. You want to check the barrel. You want to make sure that the rifling in the barrel is pretty good and it's not like caked up, or the throat is not eroding on the barrel. You want to check your recoil spring and guide to make sure the recoil will guide, especially on the Glock because it's polymer, it's not cracked or melting or anything like that. All right. Then you want to check your frame. You want to make sure your locking block, is in there pretty tight. You want to check and make sure everything down the mag well is not intrusive, don't have anything, any burrs or anything sticking through. So when you slide your magazine in there, to go cleanly in and won't cause any malfunctions. Then after you check for all the damages, then you want to check for rust to make sure that there's no rust on the pistol, that you're not going to be, ending the service life of your pistol any sooner than it needs to be because of rust. Alright, so this is going to be a real quick video. It's going to be real short. I saw with the analytics on YouTube that most people don't watch past 10-15 minutes. I have a couple 20-something minute videos and people just start dropping off after a 10-minute mark. So I'm going to keep this pretty short. So here we have the barrel. This is the barrel. Alright. So when I'm looking at the barrel, I want to look down, kind of like a pirate looking through a pair of binoculars. I want to look through, and I want to make sure that the rifling in the barrel is fairly decent. It's pretty good. You can see the little spirals. This one is a little bit dirty because as you can see, I went and did my semi-annual qualifications for my job. So, and before that, I went to the range to zero in my new optic that I put on here. Okay, so now I see, okay, the barrel, it has a little bit of, carbon buildup in the barrel, but everything else, everything else, the locking lugs and the throat of the barrel, everything else looks pretty good. All right, then I'm gonna go to the slide. Now this is where all your safety mechanisms are in the slide on the block, okay? So I wanna make sure that my striker, it flows freely. I wanna make sure, and this is the striker, this little piece right here, silver piece, that's the striker, that's what actually hits the primer. All right, I'm back. I got a phone call. Had to answer that. But yeah, so now you want to check your slide. You want to make sure that your striker is floating freely. There's no obstructions. And you want to make sure that your safety plunger moves freely, okay? Other than that, you want to check the rails. The rails are these things right here where the frame and the slide meet. And that's what slides, what helps to slide back and forth. All right. So you want to make sure that there's no cracking in the rails. All right. All right, no cracking in the rails. All the moving pieces are moving freely. There's no big pieces of debris, no cracking in my slide. All right, so the slide is pretty good. Now I want to check my recoil spring. All right. The recoil spring is pretty easy to check. You know, you just squish it, make sure it's, the spring has life in it, still springing. You just want to rotate the guide rod to make sure there's no cracks, there's no drooping or burning, because it is polymer. And that turns out pretty good. Now we're going to move on to the frame. All right, the frame, you want to check and make sure that your slide stop or slide release, whichever you choose to call it, is functioning pretty good. All right, and it's moving freely. All right, you want to make sure that your locking block is tight. Locking block is tight, and then you want to make sure the rails on your slide or your frame are tight. All right, everything is tight. All right, pretty dirty. But everything else is looking good. All right. So then you want to check your mag well, make sure that there's nothing obstructing the path of the magazine. Everything is looking good. All right, and your ejector's pretty solid in there. All right, yeah. And all right, everything's looking good. So now that you've inspected everything, now it's time to clean it. All right. So I have my cleaning kit right here. I'm just gonna go grab a couple things. Cleaning kit. First, you need some. Where's my little bottle? You need some lubricant. I use Rand COP. That's what I'm using right now until I buy something different. My COP, that's going to clean, lubricate, and protect the firearm. Then I'm going to take a couple of these patches for the barrel. My own little bore snake that I made out of some old Army socks I had. Most of this stuff is like old Army socks and old Army t-shirts. You don't need like all the latest, greatest stuff that they try to push up on you at the gun stores. So now that I have a little bore snake that I made, cloth, and then another cloth. I'm just going to take these cloths, as you can see, they're pretty warm. I'm just going to wipe down the frame. I'm going to wipe down all the parts where I see carbon. Now this, it's kind of impregnated a little bit with the CLP because I've used it so many times on here for years and years and years. So what I'm doing right now is just getting it on there, letting it work its way in, so it can be easier to clean. Because once you shoot, a couple hundred rounds, this thing's gonna get dirty. And I probably shot 500 rounds since the last time I cleaned it through here. Now this is my duty weapon. So within the last, I would say, week, I've shot probably about 400 rounds to 500 rounds. Just getting some good practice in. And then I went to go qualify. Oh man. Another thing I forgot to mention, if you have a weapon mounted light, you might want to check that too, because that's going to get a lot of carbon on it, and that'll dim the light significantly. You wouldn't be able to see your light if it gets so clogged up. All right, so as you can see, it's not that difficult to wipe this thing down and get in the mag well. I'll try to keep this video as short as I can. I'm already at like 12 minutes, but okay. Something you guys all gotta learn, right? If you're carrying a firearm, if you don't know how, I'm not saying everybody doesn't know how to clean their weapon, but there's a lot of people who don't, and then there's a lot of people who don't do it right. You know? All right, so for right now, that's pretty good. Now I'm gonna take the same rag, and I'm gonna go and just wipe out the slide. I want to make sure I get all in between where the plunger, which is right here, and the striker is. So between the plunger and the striker, I want to make sure all that debris is gone. Make sure all that carbon that's caked up is wiped off, right? Because this is just the first level of cleaning, just wiping it all down. Then I'm going to get a brush, and then I'm going to scrub it with a little bit of CLP. I'm sorry that I'm not looking at you or looking at the camera. I'm just trying to make sure I get in here and get it look good. All right. Let's get to that. Then I'm going to take my barrel. I just want to twist it and turn it. Clean it. Just the outside. I had a lot of lube on here. And then, that lube attracts carbon. I just want to get all that cleaned out. So, like I said, I was saying earlier, I'm sorry that I haven't been able to make a lot of videos. I've been real busy doing a lot of things. Then we had the Feast of Tabernacles, and we had blowing of trumpets and things like that. So I've been real busy doing that. Then with work, picking up, and I got to go qualify, and just a lot of stuff going on. So I'm sorry. I haven't forgot about you guys, and been thinking about making videos. It's just I haven't had time and the ability, because I have kids and a wife. And like right now, I had to bribe them with a movie and everything for them to be quiet so I can make this video. So all right, everything is wiped down. Now what I want to take a brush. You can buy these on Amazon or anywhere. They're real cheap. They're just firearm cleaning brushes. Some of them are double-sided. This one is not double-sided. I like this one for when I like to scrub things. So I'm going to take a little bit of the CLP. I'm going to put it on, just a little bit, a couple drops on the brush. And I'm going to go inside and I'm just going to scrub it. And while you're scrubbing it, just pay attention to getting in the rails. Now, also I want to say, if you're new to this, know what kind of solution or lube you're using, because some of it is toxic and you don't want to get it all over your hands for long extended periods of time. Some of it is not toxic. The kind I have is not toxic. It's food grade. So, you might want to wear gloves or something if you don't have the non-toxic kind. Not saying it's going to kill you, but you never know. Esau puts everything in anything, so but you just want to be careful. So now I'm scrubbing all this stuff, and once you put a little bit of CLP on it and you start scrubbing, you'll see how much you actually left on there when I first go around wiping. It's a lot. Get them rails, make sure you get all in there. Then you want to take your frame, right? Take your frame and just scrub Rub it all in there. I'm gonna get that trigger bar, because that's gonna be real clumped up with stuff. You want to get all these moving parts that's carbon that's built up. Just go ahead and just, scrub it like you're brushing your teeth or something like that. Alright, so get in there real good. Get your locking block and your rails, the frame, and the slide. It's not that much stuff, so yeah, but you want to make sure you get it all. And where your barrel seat's at, rub that real good. Then take that same cloth and just wipe it down. And bam, you're starting to see the sparkle. You probably can't see it, but it's starting to shine again. Get off a lot of that carbon. I haven't shot this gun suppressed because I need to order a threaded barrel, but man, if this was suppressed, it'd be way more caked with carbon. This time, I would just ask all you guys to like, share. You made it this far, damn, I'm 17 minutes in. If you made it this far, just go ahead, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I don't make videos every week like some YouTubers or anything like that. It's all just dependent on my schedule. But I try to put out good content when I do, especially for the members of my congregation who are getting into firearms. I share these on the social media forums for them to see. That's mainly who this is for, just for people in the nation of Israel, so they can get acquainted with firearms. So this is a commandment that we arm ourselves and be ready for war. All men of Israel 20 years and older. So just in case you didn't know that. Alright, so I might edit some of this stuff to like fast forward it. I don't know. But I'm not gonna be able to keep it under 20. I'll keep it under 30. Alright, and so there you go. That's pretty good. And I'm gonna reset the trigger, then get behind the trigger. And if you don't know how to reset the trigger, this is your trigger bar. You push that forward and then push the trigger forward. Alright. Got all that length and stuff behind the trigger. Alright, so now that you got your initial wipe down and you went and scrubbed it and then wiped it down again, now usually I'll take my little dental pick and I'll just scrub some of the parts I weren't able to get with the rag, just to get them a little bit cleaner. Or I'll take my rag, lay it on there, and take my dental pick and just get it in there, get it clean. You can get all these things on Amazon. These are polymer dental picks. They're not made for like your teeth. They're specifically made for cleaning firearms. Alright, so after that, now I want to take my homemade board snake and I want to run it through. Put it on the camera. Oh, no, it's still going. I don't know if that was, but okay, then you want to run it through the barrel. It's always good to go the same direction the bullet goes, so you want to drop it down in through the reach of the barrel. Then I'll take my polymer pick and I'll just stuff it down. Stuff it in there. So I see it come out the other side. I'll take my demo pick and bam, pull it through. I'll just do that a couple times, getting all the carbon and copper fouling out of there. Because if you don't know, when you fire a pistol or any firearm for that matter, if it has rifling, the rifling is gonna engage on the bullet. If you're using a copper jacketed bullet, it's gonna leave traces of copper in your barrel, which is good and bad, depending. Well, not so much bad, but it can get it dirty, and after a while, it can affect accuracy. It's too much, so you just gonna clean it out. Some more. Damn, I just broke the tip. All right, got backup still. All right, so maybe not that one. And technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. Push that down. There we go. All right. Look through it again. One more pass wouldn't hurt. So go through. And this little boar snake, like I said, is just a little piece of sock, little green sock I had in the army, and I cut it to a strip, tied a knot through it. That'll be around the same size as the bore of the barrel. That way it contacts all sides and just yank it through. And it pulls all that dirt and stuff. Like it's impregnated with the oil. So now when I look through it, man, it's clean. It's shining very, very nicely. So that's the inside. The outside, you're just gonna go ahead and take that rag and just wipe down the barrel. And wipe it down. Alright, recoil spring, you don't want to get too much oil on that. You just want to wipe that down. Recoil spring in the guide rock. Just wipe that down. Alright. I don't know who keeps calling me, but I'm going to ignore that. Alright. So now, I'm going to take the lube, your CLP, and I'm going to put it on the rails. So you have 4 rails, right? You have your 2 front rails and your 2 rear rails. I don't know if that's too close. 2 front and 2 rear. Alright. Your 2 front, these are the 2 rears, and those are the 2 front. You're going to take those, and you're going to just put a drop. And you put a drop on your locking block, and I'm just going to rub that in. Alright. Then you also want to put a drop of oil on your high wear parts. You can tell your high wear parts by if the finish is moved, if the finish is being removed, and all you're seeing is like that silvery metal. That's a high wear part. You want to put that on there to lubricate it. So I got it on my rails, my locking block. All right. Put a little bit on my ejector, my extractor. Bam. There you go. Then I'm going to go ahead and take my slide. I'm going to just put a drop at the rear of the slide and a drop on the other side of the rear of the slide. I'm just going to hold it forward, then meet it in the middle, put another drop in the middle, put another drop, and just hold it, and it's going to run down the rail, run forward. Alright. There you go. Let that work its way in. And with the barrel, I'm just gonna, as you can see right here, I don't know if you can see that, but you can see where the finish is wearing off. Those are high wear areas, and you just want to lubricate that a little bit, not too much. Just put a couple drops, take a finger, and just run it over it like that. I don't know, man. It's like whenever I'm trying to do something, I become real popular. I don't know why. All right, and so you just put a little bit more on, just get it all around. Wherever you see the finish is being diminished, those are your contact areas. There's metal on metal. All right. Bam. That's pretty much done. Now, you want to put it back together. You put your slide in, or you put your barrel in the slide first. So you take your barrel with your locking blocks pointing up. So your slide is upside down right now. You want to have it to where your locking blocks are facing up. Push it back until it's seated into the shelf. And you're going to take your recoil spring and your guide rod. There's a little corresponding hole right here, where the nub of your guide rod goes. You're going to take that, push that in, push the guide rod into the shelf. Right there, it's locked into the shelf, as you can see. All right. Then you're going to take your frame. You're going to line your slide, your rails in your slide, and the rails in your frame, lock it in. Bam, there you go. So it's working. And how you want to do the function check is you just want to rack the slide, lock the slide to the rear, it's locking to the rear, so that's good. Let the slide go home, point in the same direction, pull the trigger, hold the trigger back, cycle the action, let the trigger move slightly forward into reset. You feel and hear the reset, pull the trigger again, firearm's working. Okay, so now that it's back together, you're almost done. Then you're going to take a different rag. Take a little clean rag or cleaner rag, and I put a little bit of oil on it, and I rub down the outside of the slide and the top portion of the frame. All right, and once I do that, get it all on it. 28 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna get it done before 30, and I think I will. All right. Then take that other rag you had and just wipe it down, wipe all the excess off. Then you're gonna take that clean rag that you just had and wipe it down one time, just lightly. And that should impregnate the metal and should give you a nice little coating so you don't get rust and things like that. My weapon light's working. You take that same rag, wipe it. What I like to do is I like to take a little drop. You can use chapstick or whatever you do. I take a little drop of gun lube and I put it on the light bezel. So whenever carbon gets on there, it'll rest on the oil and it'd be easy to wipe off. All right. So there, you have a clean and lubricated gun. Nice, clean, lubricated. Now you only have one more thing to do because without any ammo on this gun, it's just a piece of metal. It's not dangerous at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to danger it up. Take a fresh mag. There you go. Shoot it back. All right. And you're good to go. Freshly clean and lubricated Glock 21. All right. So this is your boy Naquab from the Armed Israelite channel saying Kwam Yasharala. Shalom to all you guys. It's going to be the Sabbath later on today, so hopefully I can get this edited and up before the Sabbath.
Speak for justice, seek the truth. See, the trouble is with Jacob, but they hit the proof. We all sleep, but Christ came for lost sheep. It gets deep. Milk for baby, let get me salvation. That's the point of why we